Hey guys, this is Alex. Thanks for clicking and welcome to this lesson on adverb clauses. Now, this is especially useful for those of you who are writing essays or are just generally more interested in learning about English grammatical structure, especially when it comes to writing. Now, I'm not saying these are not useful in speaking, but a lot of them will be more useful in your written work. So, first of all, what is an adverb? Okay, well, an adverb, again, it can modify a verb. It tells you how something is done, when something is done, why something is done. So what we have here are adverb clauses. So a clause is a part of a sentence. It has a subject, a verb, and an object. Now, there are two kinds of clauses. You can have a subordinate clause or just a regular independent clause. An independent clause is a clause that expresses a complete thought. It has a subject, a verb, and an object, and a complete meaning. A subordinate clause is a clause that has a subordinating conjunction as well as a complete sentence, but it doesn't make sense by itself. It needs help. Okay? So on the board here, we have some subordinate clauses, adverb clauses specifically, followed by regular independent clauses. So on the board, let's look at the first sentence here. This one says, when I finished my work, I called you. Okay, first of all, can you tell me which of these two parts of the sentence, which of them expresses a complete thought? You will see that they are separated by a comma here, right? So this is one clause, when I finished my homework, and this is another clause, I called you. Okay, this one, you have a subject, a verb, and an object. This one you have a subject, a verb, and an object, but you also have the word when. Now, the word when is called a subordinating conjunction in this case. Okay. Okay, I hope you can read that. Now what this means, again, is that this sentence, this part of the sentence, when I finished my homework, is not a complete thought. Okay, you can't just go up to someone and say, when I finished my homework. Okay, you need more information, right? So that's where this part of the sentence comes in. I called you. When I finished my homework, I called you. This is a complete sentence. I called you. I can go up to someone and say, I called you. And they understand that it's a complete thought. Now, all of these are examples of adverb clauses. So if you look at the words here, let's circle the subordinating conjunctions. So when I finished my homework, I called you. Because there was a lot of traffic, I showed up late. What is the subordinating conjunction here? Because there was a lot of traffic, I showed up late. Everywhere I go, I take my camera. Here you have everywhere. If she's going to the party, I won't go. If. While she's good at math, I'm good at history. While. So again, these can really help you when you want to tell someone when something happened, why something happened, where something happened. Okay? So let's look at this example. Because there was a lot of traffic, I showed up late. Again, I showed up late is an independent clause. This is a subordinate clause, an adverb clause that needs more information. Because there was a lot of traffic. Okay, you need more information there, okay? Just like everywhere I go, you need more information. So what an adverb clause does is it basically qualifies this sentence. It gives you a little bit, it gives you the starter for the next sentence. So everywhere I go, I take my camera. Now you'll notice when you have a subordinate clause, when you begin a sentence or a thought with a subordinate clause like we've done here, when I finished my work, because there was a lot of traffic, everywhere I go, if she's going to the party, while she's good at math, we always separate the two clauses with a comma, 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 and comma. And the second part of the clause is going to be a complete sentence. I called you. I showed up late. I take my camera. I won't go. I'm good at history. So when the subordinate clause, the adverb clause here comes first, you have to separate it with a comma before you start the next part of the sentence. However, you can actually flip these around, okay? So that the subordinate clause, the adverb clause, comes second in the sentence. So if you wanted to say, I called you when I finished my work, you can do that. If you want to say, I showed up late because there was a lot of traffic, you can do that. When the independent clause comes first, okay? So for example, let's do this sentence. I showed up late. Because there was a lot of work. Or sorry, a lot of traffic. A lot of traffic. When you put the independent clause first, you don't need a comma, okay? It's only when you begin the sentence with one of these types of words. So let's look now at the types of subordinating adverb clauses. Okay, now we have some common adverb clause types on the board. So as you saw in the previous segment of the video, we had some sentences and they all began with words like because, when, where, if, and what we have here are examples and a bit more detail in terms of what these words and expressions actually mean. So some common types of adverb clauses are adverb clauses of time. Now these can begin with words like, for example, when, while, before, after, once. So for example, after I finished my breakfast, I went to school. Or before I called my dad, I had been watching TV. You can have an adverb clause of reason. So these are words and clauses that begin with subordinating conjunctions like because, so, and since. So again, these tell you why something happened, okay? Place, where, everywhere, anywhere, wherever. So kind of like anywhere I go, I meet some interesting people. Or everywhere I have visited, I have always enjoyed the food, okay? Condition. Now a condition, the most common word that you're going to use here is if. We also have expressions like even if and only if. Finally, you have adverb clauses of contrast. So these are some of your very, very common English words like even though, although, whereas, not that common, but still to be used, especially in writing, and while, okay? So these are some common types of adverb clauses. This is not a definitive, complete list, but this is a good foundation to give you a structure for how you can use them in the future, okay? Now again, you can use them mostly in written form. You can use them in speaking, but knowing adverb clauses will really improve your writing especially. If you'd like to test out your knowledge of these adverb clause types and adverb clauses in general, you can check out the quiz on engVid.com. Good luck, guys, and take care. Okay, one more thing, guys. If you'd like to get more information on adverb clauses and adverb clause types and learn more words related to adverb clauses of time, reason, place, condition, and contrast, please check out the resources page, also found on engVid.com, and you'll get some more examples and more information in general about this. Okay? Good luck.